Hey everyone, I hope everything is going well with you. So I decided to create a video about the upgrade that I made for my website. And I'm going to talk about all the process throughout the development of this website and all the technologies that I used for this website that took me 2 months to develop. So we will discuss about all the technologies and all the deployment scripts and the processes that I had to write in order to come with a strong deployment for my website. And I'm also going to talk about all the programming languages that I used throughout the development of that website. And by the end of this video, I'm going to show you how I update my website each certain amount of time. So I think these collections of topics could give you a great idea of how software development lifecycle is look like, and I think this is going to be quite interesting for you. So let's get started. Okay, so I want to start with talking about all the design for that website. Okay, so I will open the older one by purpose because I want to show you how my older website looked like. And if you worked with my exercises and you watched my videos, you probably know how this website looked like. And you can see that I just put some basic images on my homepage, and there was also the section of the latest content and stuff like that. So here we also had some navigation bar for the content, and then it displayed you the courses, but I really don't like this design. I bet you will agree with me. So I decided to come up with this, okay? And I think the positions of all the elements here is much cleaner and nicer to look. So here we have our page header, okay? And this is quite active page header, so you can see that this text is kind of fading in and fading out, so I really like this effect. And you can also see in the right pane that I have the poll, so I will talk about that. And you can see on the left pane that I have the navigation bar for all the courses. And I will just get into the courses in a second. Now I want to talk about this UI. I want to talk about this template that I used. So I have a membership on Envato Elements, and that is basically a website that gives you a lot of elements from web development to video editing and all the stuff like that. And since I have an annual membership on Envato Elements, I have all the access to download web templates. So this web template is designed by Pixel Cave, and I really liked it because it has very nice looking, okay? And if I want to upgrade my website in the future, I always can add more elements in my navigation bar, and I can use the different cards and the different graphs that this website offers to me. So if you want to check that out, you can write in Google App UI by Pixel Cave, and this will definitely take you to a page that will give you a live preview about what is going on here. Okay, so back to our website. Now I want to talk about the right area. Basically, you can see that I have a nice poll here, and you can vote for the topic that you want to see as soon as possible. Okay, so I decided to ask you about what you want to see on channel next, and currently the higher results were Django, web scraping, and that's it. So this is about the voting panel, and you also have some direct links like YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and stuff like that if you click here on follow us. Now there are the featured course and featured videos on my homepage, and you always have the ability just get started now or watch on YouTube for each of those. Okay, so now let's take you through the see all courses page, and you can see that we have all the courses that I have made until now, and you can press on get started, and this will basically lead you to the course page. And you have also a smaller navigation bar here that you can just go over my videos, and you can just keep watching them from here on that pane, and there's a simple explanation about each of the videos. And also, if there are going to be some exercises and code snippets that I upload, you can basically navigate over them here. So I have code files, and I have exercises, and I have the answers of them. Okay, so I really hope that this will give you a nice experience of learning. This was a hard effort to put this feature on my website, so I really hope that this will give you a great experience for learning. So now I'd like to discuss about the programming languages and the technologies that I used on that website. So we use here Django, and Django is basically the web framework of Python. And you can see that we are going over some file that includes all the configurations regarding the database. So I'm just going to give you a short brief about some of the code that I have wrote here. So Django has something that is called object relational mapper, and basically this allows to write Python classes like database tables. And if you are going to write some database table, you can basically implement them by Python classes. So for example, I have a class that is called a poll, okay, and the poll has some question and answers. Now the answers is going to contain several answers, and this is why, for example, we have a special field that is called many-to-many field, so the answers can include more answer objects, okay? And you also see functions like raise vote and reset and total votes and stuff like that. And basically this is the backend of my website, and since I have such functions, I have the ability to display all the information regarding the poll that I showed you in the right side of my page. So I also used a lot of HTML on my website because for sure you have to create a lot of HTML tags in order to display the different elements on a certain website. And I also used JavaScript to configure some functionality. Okay, so here we have a code that checks if the user's session is expired or not, because if you see on my original website, let's go to the homepage, and over here I have the poll. So let's just show what is going on here. So you can see that I have the ability to vote. So let's try to vote for Django, for example, as a topic that I want to see next on my channel. So I will click vote, and then you can see that on the next refresh I don't have the ability to vote anymore. And basically I have a JavaScript code that tests if the session should display the poll or not. Okay, so this is the logic that is going on here. And also I have a lot of functions that is dealing with the displaying of the different votes and stuff like that. And we also use here something that is called Jinja template. Basically, this Jinja template knows how to grab information from the database itself. So I have the ability to display dynamic information within my HTML text. Okay, so this way I will always display updated information on my website. Now I also used a lot of styling, and for sure I used the web framework of Bootstrap, but I also had a lot of help from the application UI template that I used, that I showed you just in the beginning of this video. But I don't have enough permissions to show you the code of how the design looks like, because basically it has copyrights of Pixel Cave, so I'm not allowed to go over the designing too much. Now I also want to talk about the deployment technologies that I used. So we talked about the programming languages and all the styling and stuff like that, but we did not talk about how I'm going to deploy my website and I'm going to update it and upload different versions of them. So we have something that is called Docker, and basically this is an engine that knows to use the virtualization layers of your computer. So that means your hardware and everything that is related and could be virtualized, and it knows to execute application in packages that are called containers. So those containers are separated and isolated from your original operation system, and that way you have the ability to deploy those containers in any kind of operation system. So if you think about it, if you have an application that you contain it in a box that is not even dependent on the operation system itself, you have the ability to deploy it on Windows machines, on all the Linux distributions, and any kind of operation system that you can think about. So this is why Docker is so special, and I decided to grab my Django application and wrap it with a container, and that way I can deploy it on any machine that I want. Now there are going to be also some different technologies that will deal with the automation process of deploying those containers. Okay, so we also have an orchestration system that is so popular that is called Kubernetes. Now this is a complex platform to learn. I have to admit that it took me months to understand what is going on and how to use Kubernetes. So basically, this is more topics that are relevant to DevOps engineers and not for software engineers. But since I am dealing a lot with DevOps and automation of deployment, so I wanted to use this platform, okay? So the Kubernetes allows you to automate your deployments and scale them, and they are all used with container applications. So for example, one of the greatest features that Kubernetes delivers, it allows you to have more than one containers, and basically there is one centralized service that is managing the traffic to your different applications. So that way, if some of my containers are failed or something went wrong, I will always have my application up and running because the Kubernetes has different services to deal with all the kind of crashes that could happen on some computer. Okay, so this is why Kubernetes is so special. So I think that will be it about the Kubernetes. If you want to learn about one of those platforms, definitely consider comment that out, and I will do my best effort to teach you what Docker and Kubernetes are about. Okay, so I think I'm in the most interesting part of that video, and that will be to upload my website live. Okay, so on the left pane we have our website, and on the right pane I have a special administrative page that allows me to manage my website. Now, Django is a special web framework of Python, and it already comes with a built-in administration page, and that administration page allows you to delete, add and edit content very easily. Now, in order to simulate one of the things that I'm going to upload, for example, we will go inside the featured videos, and there is going to be an option for that. So I will click inside the featured, and you can see that we have an object about the featured videos, and I'm going to update here one of my videos. Okay, so you currently can see that, let's make it a little bit bigger for now. You currently can see that I have 3 featured videos, and one of them is the Tkinter GUI development basics, and then if double underscore name equals main, and then we have introduction to threading. Now I'm also going to add here threading part 2 as the second featured video, okay, and I'm going to do that by pressing here, and you can see that I have a list. Let's make that a little bigger that time. Great. And now I have a list of all the videos that I have uploaded already to my website. Now that comes from the database that I maintain my information, okay? And I have the option to select videos as much as I want, and then it is just basically going to be uploaded on my website itself. So I can choose to upload Python 5 tips and tricks as one of my future videos as well, and let's actually do that. Okay, so I'm going to pass on the introduction on threading part 2, and I'm just going to add the Python 5 tips and tricks as my featured video. Okay, so I'm going to press Ctrl, and I'm just going to mark it as a featured video as well, and then I'm going to hit save on my admin page, and then basically I expect everything to be okay. So I will resize my website again, so let's make that a little bit bigger, and once I go ahead and refresh, you can see that we have the featured video right here. Okay, so you can see that it is located itself in the 4th position. So I will make that full screen, then you can see it down there. Okay, so this is a quite great update that I just did right now, but it is not as equal to upload a code. Okay, so this was basically a customization on the database itself. So it is not like writing a new HTML code that is going to display some element over on that navigation bar. Okay, so this is not equal to that. So we have to differentiate between uploading my website that is dealing with customizing the information, meaning the data that I maintain on my database, regarding to uploading a new code. Now, an example of uploading a new code could be, for example, uploading 2 more navigation bar buttons over here. That is not something that I have the ability to do on my admin page, because this is basically just adding an HTML code to my source code of the whole project. But if I just want to customize data of my website, then I can do that with the special administrative page of the Django. So I really hope you like this video, okay? And if you have any questions about the different programming languages and all the web frameworks and all the stuff that deals with the technologies that I use, definitely consider leave a comment and I will respond. So again, if you like this video, definitely consider subscribing and liking this video, because I think that this video could be helpful for a lot of people that wants to know how you can update your website and how you can come up with a website in a development environment and deploy it on a production environment. Okay, so if you have any questions, again, leave a comment and I will see you in my next upload.